You know, people have said that he did lie a little more than most presidents. I mean, no president is completely truthful, but he's a bit of a fibber. But didn't he do a lot more than most?
I mean,
but didn't you once say, I know you did, you once said he doesn't hurl personal insults?
Breaking news. Truth spotted in Trump's camp. Side effects may include Twitter meltdowns and loyalty tests. In a shocking turn of events, Kellyanne Conway, Trump's go-to spin doctor, just admitted on live TV that the emperor might not have any clothes after all. But wait, there's more. Trump's reaction is so explosive, it makes his usual tantrums look like gentle whispers. Want to see what happens when the House of Lies starts to crumble? Stay tuned for the juiciest political drama since, well, last week.
I was making the point that when it was in the context of something, and I also have seen him be very compassionate towards people.
Just a list of what he said about me.
Oh, me.
A dummy, dopey, he's not a smart guy, dumbest man on television, fired like a dog, needs to get back on the pot. Wacko, stone cold, crazy, and crazy
I
maniac.
can't imagine the applause is a sense.
I know, but come on, you said he doesn't hurl insults.
Bill.
That's
if you're
just
gonna
me.
cherry pick things,
That's
listen,
just cherry pick.
listen.
Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. Just picture this. As Kellyanne Conway makes her way onto Bill Maher's show, she exudes an air of self-assurance, as if she were in possession of a golden ticket to the truth factory. The purpose of her presence is to defend Trump's integrity, and she is armed with her standard toolkit of verbal gymnastics. However, Maher is not going to accept it. The credibility of Conway is turning out to be quite appetizing, and he is like a bulldog that has just been given a brand new chew toy.
He is the president, he represents the country. When he was first there, I remember saying, there was a book called Everything I Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. You remember that book?
I do remember.
This is from Everything I Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. Don't lie, don't boast, don't threaten, don't bully, don't accuse people of stuff that's not true.
Of course, in charter schools, why should just the rich kids have all the opportunities?
That's what I love about you. I read that list and you're right on to charter schools.
No, well, because it's important to people.
You're good at what you do.
But
at the same time that Conway is beginning her spin cycle, Maher raises her eyebrows to the point where they are almost parallel to one another. The flaws in her story are being exposed by him more quickly than Trump can utter the phrase fake news. This is similar to the situation in which a magician is attempting to pull a rabbit out of a hat, except that the rabbit is away on vacation and has left a note that says, "Nice try, buddy." As a result of Conway's rapid spinning, everyone is experiencing feelings of dizziness. If she were to try to convince a vegan that a steak is nothing more than a thick blade of grass, her attempt to portray Trump as honest would be comparable to that. However, Maher is not slowing down at all. In a manner reminiscent of a game show host on steroids, he is probing Trump with pointed questions regarding his lies. It is almost as if you can see the smoke coming out of Conway's ears as she fumbles around for answers.
where you do have deregulation and taxes lowered for people where it matters. Other people will be just fine. They felt like they had in Donald Trump somebody who was giving them more voice and visibility, and if you can match that with policy gains. But I think that people shouldn't be mocked for what they wear, how they eat, where they eat, what they look like. And the Trump people are constantly mocked. And
it is comparable to watching a cat make frantic movements in an attempt to catch a laser pointer, but she is never successful in doing so. Those in the audience are sitting in tense anticipation, waiting to see if Conway will reveal yet another alternative facts strategy. Afterwards, Conway commits an error that provides a plot twist worthy of a soap opera. Her description of Trump is that he is a bit of a fibber. My apologies. Because of the volume of their gasps, you might get the impression that the audience has just seen Bigfoot riding a unicycle. That Conway has just admitted that the sky is blue and the water is wet is shocking, but it is also somewhat obvious that he has just made that admission. Conway is attempting to backtrack at a rate that is comparable to that of a circus clown riding a unicycle. You can almost hear Trump's tiny fingers tapping out angry angry tweets. The fact that the Emperor's new attire is nothing more than his birthday suit appears to have just been disclosed to the entire world by her. Everyone, it would appear that the Trump train has just veered off course and entered the territory of Twitterville. During the time that Conway was attempting to cover up her minor mistake, our favorite orange-colored commander-in-chief was about to unleash a digital tsunami that would make a hurricane look like a kiddie pool. Trump's little fingers were pounding out tweets at a rate that was faster than you could say "Cuffeef." Due to the fact that this toddler was in possession of the actual codes. It was like watching a toddler who possessed nuclear codes throw a fit. Oh no! Following a compliment, the internet erupted into flames at a rate that was considerably faster than Trump's ego. Those who were devoted to him found themselves in a challenging circumstance. Would it be appropriate for them to defend Conway, the brilliant spin doctor who had just disclosed the truth before them? Is it more appropriate for them to travel on the Trump train of rage? Due to the fact that nobody wanted to get burned, it was kind of like watching a political game of hot potato. In the meantime, political commentators were appearing to be having a wonderful time. These talking heads had the impression that their birthdays, Christmas, and New Year's were all rolled into one when they celebrated all three holidays. The speed with which they analyzed Trump's tweets was comparable to that of a frog in a biology class in high school. The swift transition that Conway underwent from being Trump's preferred spokesperson to a persona non grata was met with criticism from certain individuals for providing alternative facts. The most unfortunate aspect is that the public's reaction was as polarized as a banana in a sundae. In an effort to defend Conway's fibber remark, some of Trump's most devoted supporters were going to great lengths to express their support for the president. It brought to mind the mental gymnastics competitions at the Conspiracy Olympics. On the other hand, other people were distanced from her more rapidly than Trump would be able to leave a salad bar. Are you a late-night comedian? Oh my goodness, they were more content than children who were in a candy store. In an effort to glean as much comedic gold as possible from Trump's explosive reaction, they were conducting their investigation. The content of their monologues appeared to have been personally wrapped from Trump's perspective. Who needs writers when there are tweets from the president that are out of control? One could say that loyalty in Trump's inner circle is about as stable as a house of cards in the midst of a hurricane. The minor infraction committed by Conway did more than just cause a stir. It also demonstrated how easily Trump's supporters can go from being a golden child to a liability. In one moment, you might be the most skilled spin doctor in the world, and in the next, you might find yourself on Trump's naughty list before you even have a chance to declare alternative facts. However, the most unfortunate aspect is that Conway's mistake officially declared Trump's lies, which is something that an army of fact-checkers would not be able to accomplish. It appears that she has accidentally divulged the trade secret that Trump's empire of deceit has been keeping to itself. My apologies. What can we learn from this political soap opera? The most skilled spin doctor is unable to turn a lie into the truth, regardless of how hard they try. This is true regardless of how hard they try. What are the prospects for Trump and Conway in the future? In politics, the adversary of the present eventually becomes the ally of the future. However, it is highly improbable that old Donnie will be able to provide Conway with any best friend bracelets in the near future. Would it be more appropriate to place her on the wall that reads "You're fired" instead?